Okay, hello and welcome everyone to this podcast slash review of the Bismarck's Paradox server's first ever competitive game after our second week of play. So now we've got quite a few more players in the lobby on Reseated, and the world is very much full, as you can see with a very quick overview of the world, and we'll go by nation, have a quick chat about the situation, see how well they're doing compared to the neighbors, and start from the west, go east, and take them from there. And for those that are new, if I say something negative or critical, please try not to take it too personally. I'm not attacking you, just my opinion may not line up with your opinion, and that is fine. So first up, we have Morocco, who's looking to be quite strong. 200k manpower at this point is, I think, pretty appropriate for a major world power, making over 100 ducats of income, and they have finished up their ideas. They've gone for quantity quality, which is shows their very high force limit. So this number is not nearly as impressive as it at first seems. They've gotten quite a lot of buildings done. They probably get some more force limit buildings soon. I guess the major development for Morocco, they have not yet formed Andalusia, as I think they were hoping to pop some missions. Yeah, quite a few good missions as Morocco that you can still pop, 2 morale missions and some cash missions. So as long as they do not need those Andalusian ideas for fighting, I think that's quite fine. Diplomatically, we are allied to France and the Congo Reseed to our south, which, just looking at the fact that we're now, is this conquest? Conquest, okay. So we see that Congo's taken a bit of a chunk of Katsina and Morocco's going here, so I don't know if there's a border agreement or not, but that is a possible point of contention. We haven't yet taken okay, I'm not sure why we're going there. Do we have a truce with Mali? Yeah, we do. I don't know how quick we are. It's a lot of land to take by yourself, but missing these 2 gold mines, I think, hurts us just a little bit. And, yeah, this gold mine's not stated or devved, and this one is slightly devved, so I think definitely priority. Get up those gold mines, boost your income a bit. How much of Seville do we have? Not very much. Okay. A little bit, I think, of an odd choice to boost Toledo. This is you do get the dev cost over 5 provinces, but Andalusia, yeah. If you had been able to do it in Seville and protect trade, I think that would have helped. Also, I don't know exactly what's happening with Portugal. I know there was a plan between France and Morocco to let Portugal colonize for them, and then they would split it up, but I definitely want to grab these 2 trade center estuary things to solidify your trade power soon. So what has Portugal colonized for now? Okay, looks like France got the colonial Caribbean, and they're working on an Argentina colony now. Yeah, so I guess big thing for Morocco. They're in a pretty safe spot for now. Still a lot of AI land to eat, so they don't need to think about starting any wars or being threatened. But as France is always kind of France is, it's definitely incentivized for France to probably keep their southern neighbors friendly while they expand into either Italy or Germany. So that is potential for betrayal, but Congo is very much how well do you does the Congo go north and west, or do they go north and east? So I think yeah, definitely safe for now, but we can see on the horizon there could be potential conflict or potential plans for betrayal. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else to say about Morocco. It's just eat AI, get stronger until it's time to fight. But I'm gonna go ahead, look at France, and I guess the first thing that we should probably point out, which happened just before session end, is that quite a lot of people have joined the coalition against France, and they have not yet chosen to fire it. And on paper, this does look a little bit bad because it would be a Dalmatia, an Austria, a Brandenburg, and a Great Britain against France, who our allies are the Netherlands and Morocco. But I think the big thing is, if this war starts, I don't know how useful Great Britain will be because they only have Calais to land, which is not enough land to like stage an army. Well, I guess, but no, they can't. They can just sail around, plop their army in Brandenburg. So there is that. But the Dutch have quite the naval force, so if they're able to stop that before it occurs, they might be in a good spot. Hold up, a Discord message. Maybe someone is telling me I'm not streaming or something dumb. No, it's just someone commentating. Yeah, for those that are in the room, if I'm talking about your country or you have knowledge, you can feel free to pipe up and join. This isn't just a monologue. But as it is, I think this war is probably pretty even if it does happen. But if GB is prevented from landing by Dutch Navy or some other thing, yeah, the main problem with GB is that even if they land everything here, they can't recruit new troops unless they're like occupying the Netherlands or something else in Bismarck. So I think Dalmatia, Austria, Brandenburg against France, Morocco, and Netherlands is probably no contest. GB, I think if they're able to fully get involved, probably puts it on the side of France. But anyway, on to the big numbers. France, we got a little bit less than 80 income, which I guess a France that has no control over Genoa or English Channel essentially is about on par. We're, oh yeah, a little bit behind on ideas. We are, again, not taking tech, which you definitely should. I'm just wondering what that, why we're so far behind on econ ideas. These definitely should have been finished by now, I think. We have Aragon as a subject, and we have not started integrating them. Definitely should do that, and I will point out, once you finish quantity and your econ ideas, you unlock a policy for minus 20% vassal integration cost, so that's quite nice when getting a big fat vassal like this. As for building, oh yeah, we don't have any force limit buildings really built. Or barracks, yeah. I'm not... Oh yeah, a lot of money buildings to build. We need to build all of these. I know, like, this France has had quite the road to recovery due to near constant player wars in the first 60 years. Multiple against Castile and multiple against Austria and friends, so I guess that's not too worrisome. But, I mean, or it's to be expected. Yeah, with this we should definitely turn off our navy. We're not making a lot of money, and well, maybe if we're expecting GB to join this war, probably not. But if they leave the coalition or it fails to fire, I definitely avoid it. Excuse me a moment. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay, Quad seems to be back. Okay, Quad, quick question about the coalition. You mentioned the Navy of France. What is the GB Navy versus the Netherlands Navy? Because if the GB, Andalusian, well, Moroccan, I guess, and Netherlands Navy can keep GB from landing troops just directly, then, I mean, obviously GB could do it before the coalition fires, but that is something, if they, can't reinforce. You kind of mentioned, they have to build troops on their island. So they'd have to build troops and then ferry them over. So looking at the Navy might be important.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the next thing to do. And before I move on to GB, we can take a quick look at the quality. We got Yeah, 5 morale, that's pretty high. I mean, it is France, so 20%. Uh, yeah, decent. Okay amount of discipline. The force limit will go up probably to 140-ish. So we finished quantity ideas, so decently strong country. So you can move on to
Uh,
GBR.
real quick,
Sure.
the reason why the admin situation is how it is because of the mod. You have to admin so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't forget like how far back France is actually put versus vanilla.
Yeah, I don't know. It is still quite a lot of land. I know. Okay. Move on to Great Britain, and oh boy. I guess first thing is that is not a good king. So that definitely hurts. Uh, First thing to look at are ideas. We've gone for Explo second, and we're just working on our econ now. So this basically would show to me that this Britain is not looking to fight, because without your second mill idea unlocked, your army is definitely going to be outclassed by others that did take a second mill idea. Uh, Economy wise, as one would expect, quite rich from English Channel, even with only about 50%, which is a little bit bad, but that's life with the Dutch sitting across from you. Key thing, looking at Navy, how many heavies do we have? We do have 35 heavies compared to, I think it was about 20 for the Dutch, so yeah, GB can definitely win on the seas and force their landing, so I don't think that plan is really too viable. Manpower wise, 110. So yeah, quite decent. And when we pay for our armies, how much? Yeah, morale and discipline a little bit lacking, but actually more force limit than France for now. But I think that is mainly just because we got this quite fat 13 colonies up, and we do have. Ooh, we are competing for the West Indies, and yeah, this is big old Mexico starting, so definitely want to snake into these gold mines the next chance you can and start having that treasure income flow. But I guess colonies in this patch are quite strong, and this mod hasn't really fixed them too much, so I think probably best for GB to just maybe sit out wars. Like, yeah, maybe being able to punish France and getting some extra trade centers from them, or even from the Netherlands, would be very good and a very good use of your time. Oh, what's this discovered? Oh, yeah. That's just because I turned off Terra Incognita. As for alliances, currently allied with Sweden, yours truly, and Dalmatia as well. I guess Dalmatia makes sense if you think that France is your enemy. But I mean, I think yeah, it's GB. Colonies are strong, so I don't think land on the continent matters that much right now. You just kind of want to boost up your colonies. They give you force limit. They give you manpower, and then you'll be super strong. Yeah, are these all crown colonies? Where's crown colony? Good. Crown colony and crown colony. Fantastic. So yeah, you're getting all your mill bonuses from them. So yeah, it should be looking like a strong GBR. So now let's move on to the Netherlands, which has had a session of recovery after a little bit of a rough start. So we have mostly consolidated our region. We're making a good bit of money from the English Channel. Could probably boost it a little bit more if we were able to upgrade these trade centers at all, especially once we get this other estuary over here that will help. As for ideas, we've gone for Pluto, Econ, and Quality, which I quite agree. Actually, the fact that GB doesn't have quality ideas means that the Dutch Navy might actually be a bit stronger. Like, we've got 10 less heavies, but Where's naval morale? Is naval morale is 3.7. Oh, 3.9. Okay. Yeah, that's just GB stuff. But I think sort of the big story for Netherlands is that they need somewhere to go now. I think there's few AI that they have left to eat. Brabant, Munster is taken by Westphalia. There's this little gap here, and I definitely think if you can, taking this province for the monument is very much worth it. 30%, once you fully upgrade it, it's 30% extra manpower if everything is converted, which is quite strong. But I think this is definitely the right move with your alliances. Be friends with France. Hopefully you can work together to push into Germany. That is definitely the best move for you, or potentially finding a way to betray France and push into Champagne, but I think that is a little bit more far-fetched unless France really screws up their diplomacy. Force limit, small as one would expect. So I think, this is definitely what you need to spend this bank on. You need a force limit building in every province. All these yellow provinces, just destroy the shipyards or whatever other buildings are there. Like these naval force limit buildings. I think you make the decision. You're either killing France or GB with someone who's gonna build enough navy to help you overcome that, or you're just going land and delete these buildings, build land force limit. And I think the land is probably a better idea, because we got low force limit, we got pretty good income. So like this is going to be a merc-based army, which yes, since we have Pluto ideas, is going to work out quite well. I think that about does it for the Dutch. So we'll move on to one of the other German. We have Westphalia, who's also had a little bit of a decent recovery. Interestingly, have gone for chivalric ideas, which, gotta say, I'm not really super sold on for this. Like, one of the best things is for the special unit force limit, which is very good if you're an Indian nation and you can get Rajputs and some other similarly good regiments. I don't think there are any good ones for Westphalia. So the other good thing is the yearly army professionalism, but that's better the earlier you take it. So it's going to take a while for that to pay off. Definitely probably one of the poorest countries in the world with only 30 income. How's our force limit? 48. So about on par with the Dutch, but Dutch are triple our income. Not even able to run that full advisor. And why don't we have power projection? We're not able to do any, get any from AI. I don't know. That's a little bit of an oof. That would have been one way to recover, but good thing for Westphalia, there's still plenty of AI to eat. So you are friends with Brandenburg, which, be honest, I guess, it makes sense. Brandenburg is definitely stronger than you and would benefit from killing you. I think, yes, what we need to do, you need to focus admin, maybe try and just say you're going to lose money, or, they're all burger loans, so that doesn't matter. Maybe try and get a level 2 advisor, if possible, or promote this guy if he's a cheap one. No. And you just gotta take all the AI as possible. Full annex Palatinate, full annex Strasbourg, get Mulhouse, get Tyrol, just get any AI you possibly can. As for long-term friends and enemies, there's to be honest, having Cologne, it is your core, so you should go for it, but that can probably turn a few people against you decide that they want it. If France wants it, I think it's probably safe to say France is moving into Germany or Italy. So I think France is likely to be an enemy. Austria might also just see this weak German and look to go into here and round out their German holdings. So potentially Poland, maybe even Ottomans might be interested in your independence. Sweden is a possible option as well, but I think like this Brandenburg is definitely not enough to feel safe. So I think we need some sort of we need more friends. That's a big thing to say. Taking a look at Brandenburg, this quickly, definitely the strongest of the minor Germans. Income though only about 50, but force limit of also only 50, huh? I thought that we'd have a little bit of a stronger army because our force limit is quite high, and our army professionalism also pretty decent. But have we built any force limit buildings? Just 2, so that's probably the key to getting stronger, is building those as soon as we can. And this is a little bit going to be the pain, is that we haven't even started our third idea group, so we're going to be quite a bit weak for a while there. Pretty. If this king dies, you do get a strict ruler for a bit, so that's quite nice. Making a bit of money from Lubeck is pretty decent. Definitely. Problem for us is that we've run out of AI. We're basically surrounded by players at this point, so I think it's probably safe to say, just looking at how the trade network is that Sweden is probably an existential threat. Possibly Poland, but maybe not. But easiest path of expansion is to negotiate Westphalia's death and move into the Rhineland. That's very good land for you. That would work. Trying to kill Poland and Prussia and then form Prussia is definitely would be the best case scenario, but I'm not really so sure how that's possible, being that Poland is currently allied to Austria and Sweden.
We tried it twice. It didn't work.
Yes. So, I think Brandenburg needs to try something soon, but unfortunately being behind in mill ideas is going to be a bit of a drain on that. They need to finish that before they try anything else. So we can take a quick look at the Emperor for now, and I know you're here, Brad, and I want to say this, not trying to be critical, but just pointing something out that... So the Hungary player, you engineered his death, which was great for you, but then you did something which, in casual games that are more relaxed, is definitely the thing to do, but I don't think you can really do it so much in these competitive games where you went for the PU on Hungary, which, it's great, you get all of this land for Hungary, but there's a few problems. One, it's a lot of frickin' land, and can probably piss off anyone that wants a bit of it. And 2, it takes 50 years for you to integrate it. So, I think for future Austrias that find themselves in this situation, where the Hungary player dies and leaves and they're still a substantial size, it might be better for you to just go straight up conquest. And take the gold mine, take some of the good provinces, and make border deals with the Poland and the Ottomans, so that they don't bully you out of all the land that they ended up bullying you out of to...
The reason I took the PU rather than just try to conquer it is because I wanted at the time to try and beat other people to it, and then also I did that war right after coming out of the war with Poland and France, back to back, and I had no admin. My ruler at the time, I literally had none. I'm still behind on admin.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. I'm not trying to be critical, lol, you stupid idiot. It's just, it's still a lot of land. they're small, so when you can integrate them, it'll be quick. You might even get a free inheritance. But yeah. Oh yeah, and also, well, you could have like released Nitra and fed to them. That may have been a better thing for the future, but such is life. Ideas a little bit behind, but catching up, as you said, hurting on admin. Like Austria is always a little bit rough for rulers because disinheriting is so risky. Income wise, we're doing okay, better than the other Germans, but
How could you not say anything about my ruler names? I'm hurt.
because I really don't have that much time. I don't want to cut off, so I'm trying to go a little bit quick.
Understandable.
So, yeah, and this coalition with France is interesting because of these cores, and yeah, like if you are able to like get those cores and like connect to Rhineland, you will. If you succeed in that, you'll be very, very strong. And yeah, if GB does join you and lands all their troops, I think you're probably a little bit favored to win, which is nice. Definite problem for you though is existential crisis is how much the Ottomans want to go into your land. Potentially, yeah, potentially Dalmatia wanting to go north, especially since they are allied with the existential threat, is a possibility as well. But I don't necessarily see Poland being an enemy of you, and I mean, Sweden is likely only your enemy if you defend your allies. But I mean, from a weak position, I think you're actually, or from a weak position early, I think you're in decent shape. Like, what you could also do is just say, like, make a deal with France, peace, and you just say, hey, Brandenburg, we split Westphalia, and you, like, take the southern half of Rhineland, he takes the northern half. And then, if you survive that and it goes well, I think you'd be on par with definitely stronger than Dalmatia, maybe a little bit less than the France and the Poland. So, but then it's whether or not anyone opts to defend the Westphalia. Okay, I think let's go north now. We'll take a look at Sweden, which is played by yours truly, and would like to point out, hooray, number 2 GP, and I do think that's fairly accurate. Sweden's pretty monstrous. Poland and Sweden did prevail in their war that was paused midway due to session end between Muscovy, Austria, Brandenburg, Poland, Sweden, and the Hungary. So Muscovy has died and has been split along a interesting line. Along trade nodes between Sweden and Poland. Kazan being a vassal of Sweden for those nice cores, and this juicy 15 dev gold mine, even at 40% autonomy, is still giving out 6 income. Like, Jesus. And that's also minus 20 goods produced. Holy crap. If I can ever convert that, it'd be worth so much. Sweden ideas are finished. Offensive quantity, Swedish quality is already ridiculous, so all you need is more men and then good generals, I think. Force limit of just under 200, so if we remember from our others, is substantially higher. So I think this, along with the Ottomans, is potentially the big boogeyman of Europe. Manpower pool of a little bit over 200 and income greater than Morocco or GB. So I guess Sweden had enjoyed peace while finishing up Muscovy. And I guess the question is, what does Sweden opt to do? They could betray Poland and try and get the rest of like Danzig and Russian lands. Can also try and just sit back and culture convert to form Russia, because with this, if you can convert everything to Muscovite, culture swap, can keep Swedish ideas and get Tsardom for even more manpower. That is kind of a power pro-gaming move, which could be in the cards, or pushing into Germany would be the other option. So there's really only 2 directions, I think. Well, I mean, it's either peace and go Russia, kill Poland, or kill Germans. So, I mean, I'm not going to spill the beans on what my plan is. So let's go ahead and look at the Poles, who had also a little bit of a rough go of it and are now pretty well recovered. They're 100 income, which is quite nice, making a lot from that gold mine in Haunt, which was also highly developed by a dead player. So that's very nice for Poland. Manpower 160k. Our force limit about 100, but that we don't have quantity ideas, so I think that's roughly on par. The big story is that we are going for horde ideas, so this is going to be cavalry Poland. So we add this 25% to our existing 53%, and then we have this policy for an additional 10. So this is going to be 88% cav combat Poland, which I think is going to be quite strong. As for Poland, currently allied to Austria and Sweden. I guess a lot of land unstated. I definitely think this is a mistake. Even if you're not able to core the land, always just state it, because as long as it's stated, you can get prosperity start ticking up. So I mean, it's not exactly a big deal, but I mean, prosperity is still huge. It's 25% goods produced, so I think it's better to have it than not. Currently pushing pretty far east. I think the stated intention is just to consolidate Astrakhan. So we'll have Krakow, Kiev, Astrakhan, a 3-node nation along with chunks of the Baltic. That's quite strong. A decent country, but it is going to suffer from Poland. Poland's problem of being poor, even with Polish crown. It is just all cows and grain. So I'm curious, did we get our manufactories done? No, we haven't started. Yeah, we haven't gotten our manufactories in yet. So I think definitely Poland priority, definitely fix economy, probably avoid wars. Maybe I think anything that makes the most sense. Ottomans to get Crimea, that feeds into Kiev, it's decent land, or try and kill this monstrous Sweden with the help of someone else. Or just picking on weak Germans is an option. I mean, land is always good, but like Saxony is definitely probably the most useless / most difficult to properly exploit in terms of money. So I think that's probably a lower priority. With that, let's move on to our lone Italian. We have Dalmatia. Quite a lot of money in the bank. As for income, yeah, pretty respectable, just under 100. As for ideas, we are completely caught up. Offensive quantity. So how's our force limit? Is 100. With quantity actually seems a little bit low. Have we done building force? No, we have not. I think this is definitely one you want to spend this bank on. Build up all those force limit buildings. That'll net you like another 30 to 40 force limit. And with that, I think you're probably stronger than Austria. Actually, maybe even stronger than France. And then just a strict one versus one, just because you have all that bank, you have the force limit. Probably need to find some ways of boosting this morale. It is lower, so probably not stronger than France, just because they have a full point of morale on you. So I guess the question is, what does this Dalmatia want to do, or where do we want to go? Oh yeah, also, weirdly very low trade power in Genoa. Are we taking trade from Milan? We should do that. It doesn't matter if they're disloyal. Like, literally, who cares? You can just debit or buy it or whatever when you need to. But money is very, very worth it. So, I guess options for Dalmatia. I guess I know Ottomans is our ally, but has kind of been bullying us out of Ragusan lands. And Sicily as well, so I'm not really sure how we feel about that. I think there's definitely room for a swap between allies for Poland and both of you ganging up on Ottomans to reclaim your lost territory. Austria might even be happy with that. Pushing into France with one of the Germans or a Morocco who betrays is also pretty decent possibility. But I think, yeah, the big thing is don't make sure you're strong right now, and you're going to start falling off soon, unfortunately. You're basically out of AI land to take. Like almost everything is a vast. Well, yeah, probably can try and snipe Switzerland. Like, at this point, any land you can take is good land. Grab what you can, and then it's time to start fighting players. And you got really 3 targets: Austria to get maybe bits of Pest and Vienna, France, or Ottomans. Or even maybe betraying Morocco and going for North Africa isn't the super worst thing in the world, but it's probably the lowest benefit just because it's kind of shitty land over here. So, let's move on to big boogeyman number 2. It is the Ottomans, currently just sitting around being big, fat, massive boy with, yeah, like 100 income over the next richest country. Force limit of, yeah, also 100 over the next strongest country, so this is very much, oh my god, even 60% professionalism? I don't know if you're in here or not, Mr. Ottomans, but have you been drilling, or are you just buying generals? So that's, Jesus, yeah, this is a strong flipping country. I think, provided that the other country is in Sweden, I think Ottomans can beat any other 2 players right now to get fairly easily. It would take 3 players or like 2 separate wars to really put a dent in this big boy. Oh, okay, that's... Yeah, no, I'm going to say right now, actually, I don't agree with this. Quantity ideas. The problem with Ottomans is we don't have any morale. We run out of quality pretty quickly because Andalusian pips or Anatolian pips fall off in about 60 to 80 years. So I think something that gave morale or some ICA or some more discipline definitely would have been the choice, rather than just this extra force limit and manpower. Like, you've already got force limit and manpower. You don't need more. That is definitely my very substantial criticism, I would say. But I mean, the good news is there's still... Wait, this... I thought this was your vassal. Jesus, this is the biggest AI throttle I've ever seen. But yeah, for now, I mean, you can just keep eating AI. QQ is free. I know that you had deals or relations with Yemen, and I don't know the particulars, but you could definitely just... I mean, what I think this Ottoman needs to do before they get eclipsed either by a big Indian or a big Sweden or big France is, strictly speaking, the best thing for them is start being a bully and start bullying someone. They can start bullying the Poles or the Austrians or Dalmatians, although they've already been bullying them. Or we can go east and bully Yemen and Mughals for Persia and other good land like that. So I guess, yeah, big thing is, which direction do we go? Europe or Middle East? I'll go ahead. I'll just so I don't forget about it later, take a look at Congo. So Congo was a new player and a reseed, and I'm quite impressed by how fast they've expanded. I fixed this country up to about 300 development, and they have more than doubled that in one session. I mean, it is just AI fighting, but I think they've done it quite well. Opting for indigenous ideas, which I think might be a little bit greedy, being that African pips are or fall off pretty soon. But I mean, Province War Score is low-key very underrated when warring other players. Taking extra 20% land allows you to kill them just that much faster. Other than that, income very, very high thanks to all of that gold And they've all been devved up pretty nicely, so strategically, Congo allied with Morocco. I don't know what deals are there. So just based on the fact that there's an alliance, it seems to indicate Congo might want to go this way into Yemen, but that, of course, can change. I mean, you really only have two options or two targets, Morocco or Yemen, for when you start fighting. Although I definitely don't think you need to start fighting anytime soon. You've got a lot of land to colonize. You do have that one colonist, but how many are you paying for? Yeah, you're rich. I'd definitely say go over your colonial limit unless you really need the money for buildings, and colonize 2, maybe even 3 provinces at a time. And once you finish your next idea group, you can get a second one, and you can really flush out South Africa, East Africa, and I'm liking where this country's headed. It'll be strong. So, take a look at Yemen, who is, number 4 great power. I knew they were up there. Yeah, 800 dev, 150 income. Actually, was that? Oh no, was that more than? What was Sweden at? I don't remember. Oh, just slightly less. So we are the 3rd richest country, if I'm not wrong. Opted to go for quantity ideas, which actually no, Yemen quality very, very good. You've got your ICA, you get 10 morale or 15 morale. Jesus. Oh yeah, it's just yeah. No, I actually think that might be a pretty good choice here, especially given that we didn't take Pluto for that force limit, so not bad at all. Conquest wise, we are Hormuz node, Gulf of Aden, looks like consolidating Ethiopia. So this is just a lot of land. Definitely Gujarat as well, so makes sense.
Yeah. Clark, can you check states real quick? I don't know. I know I have admin, so I didn't state everything. So at the very end of this session, I was going to state a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that all needs to be stated.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. No, that's going to be, yeah. So all pretty much everything that can be stated is going to be stated by next time.
Yeah, with this much land, just definitely concentrate development where you haven't already. Just save on the admin points. OP mechanic is OP. Are you still focusing admin?
No,
I would have still focused admin. I think.
No,
Oh my
that's
god!
fair.
Oh, that's 6 admin king. Okay, maybe you didn't need to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that 3/3 heir, he survived a pray for their life event. So he is 25% very still alive, unfortunately.
Stupid 3/3, but you can throw him down the well. Your king's still 30, so you probably got another 10 to 20 years of him.
Yeah.
Assuming that luck is with you. Oh yeah, Jesus. Concentrating dev on this gems province? Hell yeah. It's pretty good for you. Curious. Is Persia ours or
Yes, Persia, as you can see, the troops, Khorasan's about to get. I was pretty much waiting for Uzbek to not join because of Poland invading them. So once they don't join, I'm just, because I don't want to siege down a bunch of steppe. It's painful to do that.
Yeah.
So
there are plenty of small tags here that you can release and feed.
yeah, and I have Ifstan as a vassal, so I'm just going to get their cores and snake and do stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The problem I would say for you is you suffer from a problem of being in the middle of a lot of players.
Yes.
As many countries in this region suffer from that. You've got Ottomans, but you don't share a border with yet, but will soon. You got Congo to your south. You got a border with Mughals, and you got a border with Deccan. So it's very much who's going to be your friends. Oh, you even have. I didn't realize that Adal was a vassal. Hot damn.
Yeah, Adal, Magishu, yeah.
Okay, damn, you have a lot more land than I thought you did. Okay, you're massively strong.
Yeah, that's the misleading part is I don't have my morale yet. I think I was checking the scanner bag. I think my morale is one of the lowest. It's bad.
Yeah. I think once you get that morale, it'll be a little bit under 5. Once with all the other bonuses and such.
Yeah, and then
I'm not sure why you aren't selling at 38%.
No, it was literally, I noticed it at the very end of the session. I was like, oh, I can do that. So yeah, that's going to be one of the first.
A lot of building that you need to do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you
the
don't
unfortunate
building
thing is that a
building.
lot of it's desert. And so you already see like some provinces are already filled, which is painful.
Yeah, I mean, that is a problem. It's a lot of land, but it's kind of shitty land. Desert.
The
Hard
thing
to
is, there's a lot of yeah, like livestock and stuff. So once I'll have to do it to like 10, and then I can get all the manpower and stuff. So I don't know. I need time. And I have it hopefully through deals and stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Strictly speaking, as for enemies, I actually think, like, from a strategic perspective, I think the Mughals makes the most sense because, so you're going to take Persia, and you're going to have, like, almost no strategic depth for your country. Like,
Yeah.
if, like, what is it? If
Deccan,
Deccan, Bengal are fighting you and you lose battles, you've got, like, almost nowhere to retreat to. Like, this area is very easy to just get cut off, fully occupied, and then it's just like a very narrow corridor fighting. It's hard to defend or push out of that in that point, and so similar here. But I mean, pushing against Ottomans could also be good if they get distracted in the west. But I mean, Deccan money-wise, also, like, you just get Coromandel, send it to Hormuz. That's tons of money. So I mean, you can benefit from a lot of players' doom and death, but it's, I guess, more of a judgment call, which is easier, which makes the most sense in the given situation.
yeah, no, I don't know. I've pretty much, I'm a Swiss right now. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm a Swiss right now, and because I got a lot of AI to eat, and
Yeah.
you know, people dying benefits me, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, and I think definitely in your interest to make a border deal with Congo.
Yeah, Congo, the border deal has already been made. It's just whether I think Killa is his vassal, right?
No, I don't think so. Oh, it is actually.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much the border's already done, pretty much. I'm just gonna take that one Azeron province and then, or yeah, Azeron, right? The little white.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna take that.
Sure. All right, let's take a look at the Mughals. So Mughals was Afghanistan. They have formed, and they have one of the most disgusting borders in India ever. Which, one thing I do want to say, unless you're planning on being the aggressor, I think deleting these forts, you definitely should do, and you need to move your capital whenever you have admin, because I don't really know how or why or what's happened. Like, we haven't touched our econ ideas. We're behind on admin tech. I don't know where our admin has gone, given that we have minus 25 core cost. But there's a lot that we need to be doing. Maybe it's just a lot of land that you were taking, so you're coring so much, and I'm underestimating what it cost. But yeah, what I'm saying here is, I'm assuming with these borders, Bengal is not your friend. And what he can do right now is he has a claim here. This is not a defendable fort. So he puts a claim there, he has it on a fort, easy war goal. And your capital is also here and exposed. That's a lot of war score for occupying the capital. So, I mean, you're suffering on admin, so I don't want you to, it's probably not worth it. But as soon as you can, move your capital to a mountain province. And delete these undefendable forts. And probably the same thing for the Bengal player if he has any, like, forts in this peninsula. Because if we're the aggressor, then like this fort here is not very defendable. Because it's like, you sit on here and you put your reinforcements around it, and you can just snipe his reinforcement stacks from here. The same thing like this. His army's here, and you try and attack it from here or here, he can just loop around you. So, I think that's it. As for things I definitely think that you can do, since you're hurting on admin, secretly one of the best vassals to have in the game, I'm scrolling down this, Kazakh. Look at the cores they give you. Oh boy, yes, please. I see no reason why you wouldn't just do this. Sure, you lose 3 crappy desert provinces for now, but it's a lot of land that you can take very quickly and then integrate. Doesn't cost you admin, so no reason not to do it. Another thing you haven't done yet, which you definitely should, is get the gold mine in Kuka. Get the gold mine in Kuka. Like, the next time you have any admin available, just deck on Chagatai, snake to Kuka. You don't need anything else. Just take Kuka, dev the gold mine, have money. You're relatively poor because Lahore and Samarkand are kind of crappy trade notes to collect in. You're not even collecting in Samarkand right now. You should. Yeah, what are your merchants doing? Doab and Lahore. Take take the one out of your home node and put it in Samarkand. I think you'll make a little bit more money from there from doing that. But I think Mughals, this war with Bengal probably seems inevitable unless someone negotiates border deals. Like, either he gives up some of what he has in Doab or you give up some of your stuff. But I'd say try to avoid wars because you have all of Chagatai, basically all of Uzbek to eat. And so, when there's AI to eat, why fight players if you don't have to? So that's what I would recommend you try to do. Potentially also if you can switch Deccan's allegiance, that would be good. I think they're probably the stronger between Bengal, because like a deal where you get the rest of Doab and he gets Bengal would be pretty attractive to a Deccan player, I think. So that is an option. So let's move on to the 2 native Indians. We have Bengal, income of 115, which is quite good, especially compared to probably what's going to be their mortal enemies, the Mughals. Allied currently to Nanjang and Deccan, which, I think that if you are able to maintain these alliances, I think that definitely makes sense, because you've got Shun over here, which I think because they have Tibet missions, they want Tibet to go theocracy, and if they can also take Nepali land to go Nepal, that is the dream for Shun. So I think you don't want that to happen, so I think they're your enemy. Mughals are your enemy. And Lanjang, good counterweight. Deccan, good counterweight. So if you keep this balance of powers, I think you're looking pretty good. Have we started? No. We are not yet going for that Nepal formation, which I think should be our long-term goal. Bengal ideas are not bad, but Nepal ideas are just better, simply put. Let's say I didn't look at the ideas. We're fully finished our ideas. We got indigenous offensive, so a little bit greedy, but strong ideas here. So we are, I think this country's looking quite strong. It should probably sell. There's no reason not to at this point. Just get those buildings up. You got manufactories built. Yeah, quite a bit. That's why your income's looking so good. So yeah, say good work to the Bengal player. Keep it up, and probably want to pounce on the Mughals sooner than later before they eat all of the steps, if you can. Now let's take a look at Deccan, our other Indian. As expected, should be actually not that much richer than Bengal, but I guess Vijayanagar is still alive and he got a truce for a little bit longer. So definitely want to take the rest of the trade centers in that and maybe start upgrading some of the ones that we have. And if we aren't already, this province or this state, always protect trade. Look how crazy this state is. Start with it's 4 trade centers in one state. So 50% power on those is, it's 4. It's utterly stupid. So that's one way to quickly, easily boost your income. As for ideas, this I'm going to disagree with. In a competitive game, yeah, I mean, trade ideas are good. They're good in the mod, they're useful to have, but I think this is just way too early. Definitely wanted probably another mill idea. Aztecon, I probably would have recommended offensive, maybe quality or theocratic. So, I mean, my perspective or why I'd say that is anyone that has a second mill group now is probably going to be stronger than you when fighting, like this Bengal and this Yemen. And this is the problem with Deccan. You got this sort of nice defensible land. You only have really one direction to go. You can go north. It's just whether it's northwest or northeast. No one's going to come at you from the south, so it's and everyone knows this. And so like Yemen knows his choice is, or your choice is, fight Yemen or fight Bengal. So I think it's always a somewhat tricky diplomatic situation with nowhere to go, because without this mill idea, what I think you're at risk of, what I'm trying to say is, Bengal has a third mill idea, or has their second mill group. Yemen has their second mill group. They can just say, hey, look, this Deccan is weak because they didn't take their second mill group. Why don't we just kill it together and split it? Because Deccan is going to come for one of us, so cut out the middleman and we can do it ourselves. And if that happens, I don't really know who would help you, but that, of course, predicates on Bengal opting to betray that alliance and come after you. So, yeah, definitely think we can probably boost this income. Yeah, once we get the rest of the trade centers, we make this our home node, push Deccan into here, and yeah, start making that money. Oh yeah, we got a lot of money buildings to start doing. How's our manufactory start? Got a few, but so yeah, all these cloth, the silk, and the iron and the dyes. Like you finish those? You have long. Yeah, it's state loans. To be honest, oh, why is our Jane's loyalty so low? What's the equilibrium? It's 41. Yeah, Janes just kind of suck. I mean, give them the other privileges. Try and boost. No idea why your crown land is so high. Definitely sell. You need to build buildings. Sell that crown land. Build buildings. Build money. Like, just with this region, you can easily make 300 ducats once it's fully built out and fully conquered. So you can be richer than Bengal. Probably as rich as Yemen. Okay. Now we'll move into the Southeast Asian. So, if someone is here, I would appreciate a quick rundown of what happened, being that...
Yeah, I'm Malacca. I was in the region.
Okay, because I know there was a war between Manchu and Japan that Japan lost. What exactly happened?
To be honest, I'm really confused because what happened was Bengal, Anzang, and Manchu declared on Shun and Ashikaga. What their goal is to essentially kill the two players so they could just eat up the area. And Ashikaga unconditionally surrendered, but Manchu literally just took one province in Korea for some reason. I have no idea why. And he's going to colonize in Southeast Asia for some reason. The Manchu player.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's some weird things. We'll get to that later. Okay, so it was a 3v2 and...
Yeah, they did lose. Yeah, Ashikaga did lose, yeah.
Yeah, very little was lost, so...
Exactly, and it was really confusing because the war was kind of pointless.
Yeah, no. I heard the Shun player was very upset about it, though. And then I think what happened, I think why Ashikaga on con is I think Manchu landed troops somehow, and then they just gave up. And I think that was part of the reason.
But I don't think Shun lost much anyway. I think Shun.
I don't think, yeah, but now he's kind of diplomatically isolated. I mean, not that he was, had a very strong ally before in Ashikaga who really couldn't help him that much. So, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird place over there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that Shun and Manchu are enemies right now. But okay.
We should have worked together to kill the Ming first.
Yeah. Lanzhong actually not looking that great right now. I guess if they were fighting, I mean, they don't have any manpower. They're losing money. Not very high income. But they are...
I think Lanzhang's income's about 60. Like, with devastation, so I think it's about 60.
Yeah. He's got a lot of occupations. This war seems to be a little bit hard, and he's called Bengal in to help.
Also in the war right now.
So, I think... What is it? Good thing for Lanzhong. I mean, they definitely need to hurry up and form Siam. They took protectionism ideas next, which I guess same problem that I say with Khan. You got to take that extra mill group because now like this Shun, he took another mill group, so his army is just going to be better than yours. Assuming that the nations are roughly on par, which I think they are. If it's a 1 versus 1, then Shun just wins because
Yeah.
you're strong. And what you need to do, this Lanzhong player, I don't know if you know the meta for the area. You need to, what is it? You need to pop this mission, take this mission for permanent cav cost reduction. When you form Siam, you go like full cav army. You take horde ideas next, and then you probably take quality, and you just have ridiculous cav combat ability, and your cav armies are basically unstoppable. So, yeah, good news is you can form Siam pretty quickly.
He's been having a lot of trouble with expansion because, like, every single in Southeast Asia, all of these guys are allied to each other, so they have like 20k troops each or 30k troops each. He just gets sieged out in every single war.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, to be completely fair to Long Shao, I almost had a death war Ava and Ayutthaya because I didn't realize how powerful they were.
yeah, I get the AI can't. Yeah, AI Ayutthaya is pretty strong. I know.
Yeah, he's currently winning a battle.
Yeah, it's a lot of dev in the region. Actually, they might not. I don't know. It's -1. But either way, I know he was saying that because Shan took provinces, he can't form Siam. No, you can form Siam. You just need to take Aitai, Sukhothai, Chiang Mai, 3 provinces. You can take them in this war, I think, and then you can form it. But do not form Siam without taking this mission.
Yeah.
So, like, that is a hard do not. As soon as you pop this mission, go Siam, because the ideas are just miles.
I did not realize how strong this mission is. Like, oh my god. It's 20% cav compatibility.
And yeah, probably so. But I think alliances pretty much make sense for you. Yeah, friends with Bengal. You can split Burma if you want. Well, just keep Malacca to your south happy. Shun, I agree. Shun definitely does not want a strong Siam to happen. That country is ridiculous. It's not nerfed in this mod, which is a bit of an oversight of the modders, so I think, yeah, I mean, Shun doing the right play is just currently a little bit down on allies, unfortunately. Take a look at Malacca, and then we'll be able to wrap things up. So I don't think there'll be too much to say for Malacca. They're doing they're doing Malacca AI things well. Probably just, I mean, I always just sell that. Over 10% is fine. Income's not too great right now, just because we need to, we haven't consolidated our region. Once we finish Majapahit, finish Brunei, we can pop.
I think the worst thing over here is how much it costs to just core stuff. I think it's 120 for each province I took in Sumatra.
Yeah, it's a. What is it? It's a lot of. They're expensive. You got to do vassal feeding here. Like,
yeah, so I think I'm going to vassalize Sambas and then Sunda in the war against Majapahit, and then Luwu as well. So I'll have 4 vassals, and I'll feed most of the land to them.
Oh yeah, completely agree. As for ideas, you got an Explo, which is just fine. I would say you're. Oh, if you have. Oh, you conquered these lands, or is this your? It's a vassal of Manchu. What the fuck?
Yeah, I do not know what he's doing. Why?
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that when we see Manchu. But yeah, you took all this land, which is. Oh, that. How much colonies are you paying for? Oh, just 2. Okay.
I'm not in the best financial situation, so I can't afford.
No, that's fine. You should probably colonize this province next. Just get the trade center,
Oh yeah.
and then, to be honest, I'd say get Australia after that. Just start colonizing it until like you get 5, and then just let them colonize on their own. One thing to also
Scared like the Europeans might start colonizing the other islands.
I don't think they're gonna get here for quite a while.
Okay.
England is the only one that's really colonizing well. A thing to note for you. Where is that? That's
Tell me about the building situation. Like, what's the fine.
You see all of these islands in like the southeast. These are part of the Australia colonial region. So you can make your like you can all the way up to Hawaii, Fiji, blah blah blah. These are all they'll all go to Australia. So your Australia colony will be strong and rich, especially if you get a player on it.
Okay, it's cool.
But yeah, I mean everything's just Malaki should probably stay out of wars. You can get to Malaya, form your stuff, get rich, build up. You probably don't have much to do until 50 years other than just fight AI unless you feel like you need to intervene. Because when you form Malaya, you do get 10 land morale, so your armies can do something, but they're still not going to be that great.
Can you check the buildings and see if I should do anything else with that?
Sure.
I got a bunch of shipyards because the AI built a bunch of shipyards, so I just dismantle them and then build other buildings there instead. Oh yeah, one actually.
What are the trade goods? Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do here until Tech 14. You can build stuff. I mean, I think there's some provinces I think you can probably drop the autonomy on, but yeah, there's not much to do. It's a Tech 14 nation, kind of like Congo. You need Tech 14 for ivory, you need Tech 14 for spices, and you need the spice event to fire. Yeah, that'll fire soon. You'll get these up to 4.5 ducats, so that'll be nice for you. So take a look at Shun now. So yeah, low manpower, I guess, from that war. What? Yeah, I guess the thing to point out for those that might not know. Oh yeah, we haven't promoted any of these. We probably should, because I think we're a while away from forming an empire. Yeah. I think it's probably worth it. We are a peasant republic, which is very nice for the monarch points and a little bit of extra money and morale. And our missions are Tibet missions. So what good about that is if you can go through them and I forget which one it is. Oh yeah, I think it's this one, the Gulag School, where you can go theocracy for free. And Eastern theocracy, you get ICA and you get discipline, so it makes your armies quite strong. And Shun ideas are not the worst. Yeah, you get 15 ICA, get some siege stuff, but definitely the best thing for Shun is being able to form Nepal and be a theocracy, and you're ridiculous. But yeah, I assume this war, I don't know how much they fought against Lanchong. It probably hurt them a good bit. We're a little bit, yeah, it's close to them. A little bit less dev, a little bit less money probably. But the good news is we still got all of Ming to eat. But what I don't get is why this Manchu is hostile to you. Because I think at this point you both definitely benefit from just turning on Ming and dividing them up together. Maybe even with Japan, like Shun, finish up Canton, take the rest of Xi'an from them as well. Like Manchu, you want Beijing. Japan, if they can, they want parts of Hangzhou. And then once like the AI is dead, then go nuts. I mean, Shun, you also have the benefit of being able to go into Chagatai. Like, you could actually race Mughals for that gold mine, which I probably... Yeah, you've got claims, you've got some admin to spare. Go for it. Just race to that gold mine. I think you need it. That'll give you a nice edge. But yeah, think that the diplomacy is weird. I understand. Yeah, makes sense. Shun, your enemies should be Bengal and Nanjang. I don't know why Manchu doesn't like you, but being that they've gone colonial, I think that's gonna be pretty easy. Yeah, maybe the best thing that you can do is convince Deccan that Bengal bad, get him on your side, or convince him that Siam very bad for all of Asia. Don't let it happen. But I guess, yeah, the big thing is, I think it makes more sense for like you and Manchu to be friendly, cooperate, kill Ming together, because I think this Ming is. I mean, I left this Ming deliberately a little bit too strong for any one person to just take it out by themselves, especially with high mandate. So, I don't know. As far as yeah, we went indigenous, which I think is a little bit greedy, especially being that you have quite a few enemies right now. So something with a little bit more quality in them would have been better. But I think it can go okay for you. Oh yeah. I already hit the minus autonomy button. So I know it's a pretty good player, supposedly on Shun, so I think he can keep himself alive and find a way out of this awkward situation, but it is kind of strange. And we'll take a look at Manchu, and this was mentioned that I have no idea why you're going exploration. Like, what? I'm sorry. I really don't understand. The reasons why, I'll say, I mean, you don't really have a navy to... Okay. Well, unless you're able to kill Japan, you will not be able to have like enough of a navy to like support and protect your colonial empire. Like, you're currently going to the Spice Islands, so I would say, I mean, Malacca can just build 10 heavies, which I don't think there's... Yeah, you have no heavies. You have no naval force limit. You're never going to have any naval quality. And Malacca can just be like, okay, my colonies, I occupy them, I blockade you, so what? And all of a sudden your colonization is all wasted and gone. Don't really, yeah. I mean, having Japan for an enemy makes sense, I suppose. It's just so that you can take all of Korea and keep them weak. I do agree with that. But I guess the big thing is we need to take on Ming, and you probably would like Shun's help to make that happen. I mean, yeah, like you both just deck at the same time, so you can each take 100%. You take a lot of Beijing, blah blah blah, get strong, build strong army. Yeah, like, and the other thing that I said before with Deccan and Nanjang, you don't have a third mill idea, and you're a land-based nation. If you're gonna fight anyone who has a mill idea in their third group, their army will just beat yours. So I gotta say, I don't agree. Now let's take a look at Ashikaga. Okay. I kind of expected that we'd have our vassals integrated by now, but I don't know if the wars hurt or slowed things down. And this is a bit of an issue. I don't really know why. We're not caught up on ideas. Maybe it was just bad rulers or the war or something else. But yeah, the real unfortunate thing is if we had finished our ideas, integrating this would be a lot easy because well, I'll show you. Just because there's a diplomatic annexation policy you can get after finishing the third idea group. So if you had done that, boom, oh look, it's 100 done already, and then you can do it with this guy. So that would have been nice. As for the country itself, income a little bit on the low side, manpower, yes, as well. I mean, this is a Japan that's confined to your islands. I mean, the good thing with this Manchu going colonial is you can also just... I mean, he took Taiwan. You have claims on it? Oh, I mean, oh, he also took Ryukyu? What? Okay, I mean, when the truce is over, you just declare war, have a bigger navy than him, occupy, and say, screw you. These are mine, you can't defend them, what the hell? I gotta say, I disagree. But yeah, as for things to do later strategically, I mean, if this Manchu isn't cooperating, you can maintain your Shun friendship to divide up Ming between the two of you. Maybe try and convince Shun to bury the hatchet with Lanzhong so you guys can butcher Manchu together. I think that seems a little bit far-fetched, but if that can't happen, then what you need to do is, get to California. Start colonizing. I mean, England, you're late to the party on Mexico, but you can definitely get California, you can get Alaska, you can even snake through and maybe even get parts of Louisiana and Canada. And just any colonial land helps you so much. Other thing you can do, but maybe given that Manchu's kind of... Well, yeah, I think there's no reason. Malacca and Japan, you guys can team up to stop the Manchu expansion, which has no real hope of success, I guess. But I guess it's whether do you want to challenge Malacca for the Philippines or make a deal for it? Because Philippines, or the issue is Japan, you need the Polynesian Triangle. So I think if you're going to go into California, this is the most important thing to get. Is you need to make some sort of deal with Malacca to allow you use of that.
I think me and Japan, we did have conversations about this. I was gonna get Philippines. I don't know about Australia, but I'd preferably get Australia, and he's gonna go to the Americas.
Okay. See, that makes sense and a good way to avoid conflict. I think that's a sensible split. But yeah, I guess you can have your revenge on Manchu pretty easily, but losing Korea definitely hurts. Oh, are we not taking trade power? No, take trade power. Take trade power. Who cares? We can placate the rulers, give them prestige. Who cares? Money, take money. Money is good. Okay. I think that's every country that we've gone over. I don't think I've missed anyone.
I think there's 13 colonies left.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna... Well, because I don't have the Conquest of Paradise DLC, it doesn't actually let me switch onto them. Plus, I mean, it's a colony, we're not gonna see much. It's just, yay, colonize, yay, build buildings. There's not much to do or interesting to look at yet. So I think that does it for this podcast. I guess big takeaways is Ottomans probably, World Boogeyman, Sweden, Boogeyman number 2. In Asia, yes, Yemen probably the strongest in this general region, while yes, Shun, Manchu, Lanzhong, Bengal, they're all roughly on similar territory. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next sessions. I definitely think in East Asia there can definitely be peace for a little bit longer as Ming gets divided up. But I think Deccan needs something to happen because they're kind of blocked. Bengal can eat this land pretty easily. Mughals has land to eat. Yemen has land to eat. But Deccan is stuck. So it is definitely in Khan's interest to make something happen, I think. So, along with, and the Germans in France and such, we had a peaceful Europe for the last little bit. I think that will probably end. So, thanks everyone for watching, and see you all next week.